Greetings to everybody who's involved in the Children's Activities Association. As we move into 2025, this marks the 10th anniversary of our foundation. Where have those 10 years gone? It's been my absolute privilege and a pleasure to be your founding chairman. And it's interesting, when I was invited to join, I knew that it was something very special, this sector. But to be honest, I never knew just how special this sector is. Our sector are unsung heroes of the development of young people, right from the youngest age here in the UK. The activities you provide are astonishing, absolutely fantastic, and of course it's usually all done, or always done, with fun and with safety in mind, which is obviously a key element for the CAA. Whether it's physical, mental, emotional, behavioural, social, all of those things you're developing in the young people of this country. To put some perspective on that and numbers, about 2.5 million children every week in the year go to an activity or multiple activities. So that is absolutely fantastic. It's obviously really important that we ensure that standards, which is why the CAA was originally founded, but the standards are there. So what are the CAA? What have we actually achieved in those 10 years to support you, the activity providers of this sector? Well, it's been 10 years, it feels like 5, but it's 10 years since we started. We now have some 2,000 members from the smallest individual supplier right up to the largest franchisor setups. We have some 4,000 very active individuals involved in the Facebook page, which is a great place for news and swapping ideas. We have a growing number of supporting members and of course affiliates, so it's very important that we affiliate ourselves as a sector with others, whether it's dance, swimming, etc. So we've had a lot of success in that arena. It's very important that you're obviously able to evidence the high standards which are expected and are provided for the activities up and down the UK. And it's obviously one of our key goals is to keep raising those standards so that parents and carers know that their children and loved little ones are safe in the environment they're in. So I think that's an area we've done particularly well in. And bringing the community together. This I think was shown particularly in the time of the lockdown, which was imposed by the government. And I think it's fair to say people really didn't know where to turn. The information coming out was changing all the time. And whilst we didn't have all the answers, far from it, we did bring people together. And we did, the directors of the CAA at that time, they were flat out on gathering information to disseminate the information and basically get that information back to yourselves as members. So that was, I think, a great example of a community pulling together. Community and social interaction is obviously a critical part of what the CAA represents. And certainly through the many regional meetings which we've run throughout this year, and we're running many more this year, obviously the fantastic event which is Ignite towards the end of the year, they're always great showcases for pulling people together. And it's interesting, there's something which I said earlier about the, obviously the importance of what you offer the young people of our country. It's not just the young people, it's also the parents and carers, because I think it's fair to say a lot of mums and dads, when they're first parents, they sort of don't really know what to do, and they not have necessarily, in some cases, got that social interaction, and your activities help provide that, not just for parents, also for a growing number of grandparents who are involved in getting the grandchildren to these activities. It'd be very easy to think there's not many things which are great about Britain, particularly if you read the mainstream media and get caught up in everything these days. However, I'd actually say the sector which you represent and you're part of is truly a great British industry. And that's proven. I've been quite amazed at the number of CAA members who have been setting up franchises all over the world, from Dubai to India, into Europe. So it really is a great British export, and I think we're going to see a lot more of that as the years progress. So that's really very positive indeed. Last year, we increased the number of people who are involved as volunteers with the CAA by setting up 7 committees. So we now have some 45 people from the board and the committees who are involved in bringing together all activity providers in the UK. And I've had a big thank you to those committee members and directors, because they all give their time freely, as do the board of the CAA, so thank you for that. So to lead as we move into 2025, if you're not a member of the CAA, please do become a member. It doesn't cost much. it helps you to actually ensure that your standards are in place, you've got the right processes in place for safeguarding of the little ones which come to your wonderful classes. And I'd just like to end really by saying it has been my absolute pleasure and a privilege to serve you, the sector which I now feel I know a lot more about than I did 10 years ago. And I look forward to meeting many of you throughout the year. Thank you.